Teams are very lucky that the NFL signs network deals years in advance. They have TV contracts years in advance, and they have certain obligations that they have to fulfill with certain networks week after week regarding primetime games and noon o'clock and 3 o'clock games and things like that. That they have obligations that they have to abide by because of these contract deals. Because after watching that, there's no reason why this team should be on TV. After watching that, if it was up to the performance, team would never be on TV. What's up, YouTube? Your boy back once again with another sport topic, and today we're going to talk some football, Houston Texans football. Today we're going to talk about the Houston Texans falling to the Tennessee Titans. We're going to break that down a little bit. We're going to preview a little bit to the Philadelphia Eagles, and we're going to talk about what's the real problem with the Texans and how it possibly could be if it's able to be fixed. We're going to break down. Before we get in there, like I was telling y'all before, if you're liking the content, make sure you're liking the channel. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you comment on all the videos. Make sure you're sharing all the videos on all social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, any type of social media platform you use. Make sure you share it on the same social media platforms. Also, follow me on social media as well. The links in the description below. And man, I apologize. I know I've been gone for the last couple weeks. Have stuff to take care of, but don't worry, your boy is back. We full effect. We about to get ready to get going. We got a lot of stuff that's gonna be coming your way, so just stay tuned, be patient. I apologize for the little, missing the last couple weeks. But hey, we back full effect, and we about to bring you some real good content very, very soon. So we're gonna talk about, like I said, we're gonna talk about this game because I think this might has to probably go down as probably the worst performance in Texan history, and I'm gonna talk about it in a minute. The Texans fall to the Tennessee Titans 17-10. This game here, you had Malik Willis making his first ever career start. Was 6-10, 60% for 55 yards, no touchdowns, had a pick. Derrick Henry, once again, he missed last year, didn't play no game against the Texans last year. Come back, 32 carries. 219 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then Hilliard, former Texan, had 8 carries for 83 yards, and then Malik Willis, who was a running quarterback, only had 5 carries for 12 yards. On the Texan side, Davis Mills was 17-29 for 58%, 152 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, but it really wasn't that good. Damian Pierce had 15 rushes for 35 yards. Brandon Cooks had 6 targets, 4 catches for 73 yards. We're going to talk about that. We're going to break it down. And then Steven Nelson was able to get the pick. So, what I mean about this might go down as probably the worst performance is that up until 4 minutes left to go in the game, the Texans had 66 yards of total offense. I think that, yeah, it only had 66 yards of total offense with 4 minutes left to go in the game. 66 yards of total offense. Now, they gave up over 314 yards on the ground defensively. And I know that's people talk about, oh, man, y'all let Derrick Henry run all over y'all. This run defense is so bad. We got to fix this run defense. Don't get it wrong. Don't get twisted. This run defense is horrendous. But at some level and at some point, you have to take the reason why the run defense is as bad as it is. And I'm not excusing, yes, you have to fix this run defense. I'm not saying that you don't have to fix this run defense. You definitely have to fix this run defense. But this offense, part of the reason why this run defense is so bad and part of the reason why this teams can run on you is because you can't do anything offensively. You cannot produce anything offensively. None whatsoever. And, man, Pep got to go, bro. Like straight up and straight down. And shout out to that boy Wink. Wink said this months ago when they first elevated Pep. To be the offensive coordinator, he said this is not gonna be it. He said Pep is not a good offensive coordinator. Hey, shout out to that boy Wink, man, because he said this. He said this months ago when they elevated Pep. And I tried to give Pep a benefit of that because of the people he worked with. He worked with Andrew Luck. He worked with Justin Herbert. He got some tools. You know what I'm saying? Okay, he worked with these type of quarterbacks. I think he even worked with Jay Cutler. And I'm like, okay, maybe maybe he just needs his type of quarterback. Maybe he needs the big arm, strong, the big strong arm quarterback. Because like I said, deal with Andrew Luck, deal with Justin Herbert, deal with Jay Cutler, even deal with Cardell Jones in the XFL. So he just need those big, strong arm quarterbacks that maybe it's not going to look good with Davis Mills, but he gets his right quarterback in eventually, or get a quarterback to fit his system, he'll be able to work it. Nah, I don't care who you have. You can have Patrick Mahomes back there, Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, Josh Allen, all the big strong arm quarterbacks, Dan Marino, John Elway, all the great big strong arm quarterbacks, prototypical guys. This offense still gonna look trash with Pep Hamilton calling the plays. I mean, they ran a flea flicker screen to the tight end, like a flea flicker, and then it gets dumped off to the tight end. What? The high school play that they ran a couple weeks ago. The game I didn't get a chance to. I didn't talk about the Raiders game last week. But when they had 2 offensive linemen or 3 offensive linemen, and they had Titus Howard split out wide, like the formations that you're doing doesn't make any damn sense. Then you give the ball, you pitch the ball to Rex Burkhead for Rex Burkhead to throw the football? Like, offensively, creatively, what are you doing? There's no structure. There's no identity. Like, with Gary Kubiak, zone read. That was the identity of the offense. Zone read, play action pass. That was the identity of the offense. No matter if it was Arian Foster back there, no matter if it was Ben Tay back there, no matter if it was Ron Dane back there, Steve Slayton, Wally Lundy. No matter who was back there during Gary Kubiak's time, that's what the offense. Play action, zone run scheme, play action pass. You play off of it. No matter what running back was back there, no matter if it was Matt Schaub, if it was T.J. Yates, if it was Rosenfels, no matter who was back there, Dan Orlowski, no matter who was back there, that's what he was doing. Matt Leinart for half, no matter who was back there, that's what he was doing. Bill O'Brien, for whatever we want to say about Bill O'Brien, Tim Kelly, the offense still was funky, but it had somewhat, especially when you had Deshaun Watson, you had somewhat of identity. I don't know what this offense is doing. I don't know what Pep Hamilton is worse than George Godsey. He's worse than George Godsey. He's worse than Bill O'Brien. He's worse than Tim Kelly. I don't understand what this offense is doing, and it makes zero sense. And I tried to give more so benefit of the doubt. You know what? They just tanking. They're not trying to win. They're not obviously not trying to win because your defense and your special teams turns the ball over. You get a forced fumble off the special teams, and then Nelson gets a pick. Both of those get you in the plus side territory, and you move the offense back. They get inside the 20. Get inside the 10 off of the pick, off of the Nelson pick. They get the ball inside the 10. They end up kicking the field goal outside of the 10, outside of the 20. They lost 10 yards. 4 plays, losing 10 yards, and Dameon Pierce, who is leading the NFL still, even after a bad game, only having 35 yards, still leading all rookies in rushing. You have the leader in rushing and rookies, and you don't give him the ball once. 4 plays inside of the 10, you don't give him the ball once. Not only don't you give him the ball, check this out. He's not even on the damn field. Not even on the damn field at one point in time in that sequence of plays, and you lose 10 yards and kick a field goal. Now, that's only half of the problem. Probably majority half, but that's only half of the problem. Because the other half is what you already know I'm about to say. It's Davis Mills. Man, y'all need to stop up here overhyping Davis Mills. And, hey, man, Davis Mills ain't the problem, man. Man, he's the second best quarterback in that draft class. And so what? 'Cause as of right now, who's looking like the best rookie quarterback, best quarterback in that draft class is Justin Fields. Justin Fields don't look good either. But the last 2 games, he's looked more promising than he's looked at before. Trevor Lawrence has not looked good. Matt Jones, who had a good rookie year, the Patriots don't know what they want to do. We don't know about what's dude name Trey Lance because he's hurt. Zach Wilson. I said that about Zach Wilson. He got arm talent. He made some throws at BYU that make you jump at the seat and be like, oh shit. But those were never consistent. He was never consistent. He was never consistent. He makes some throws that make you hype up, but you don't think that's going to be something that he could. It wasn't like it was everyday play. It was like a Patrick Mahomes or a Josh Allen type or Aaron Rodgers type situation. So you kind of thought that you might be taking a chance with him, but he might not still be good. So yeah, Davis Mills might be the second best quarterback in that draft class. Okay, big whoop-de-damn-do. It don't mean a damn thing because that quarterback draft class is trash. It is. It is absolute garbage. It's a bad quarterback draft class. Second to probably this one, the one that just happened. We only had one quarterback took in the first round, but who knows? Again, quarterback draft class was bad. You know what? The Geno Smith quarterback draft class was bad. And Geno Smith now is playing better and look like he's probably going to be comeback player of the year because the Seahawks or look like they lead that division if I'm not mistaken. But the quarterback draft class is bad, and that's not it's not a good thing. Okay, yeah, he's a second best quarterback in the draft class. That's more so an indictment, more so a validation about keeping him as the guy because he's not the guy. The guy had 17 yards passing at halftime. 17 yards passing at halftime. Again, you lost to a guy who threw 55 yards. That's the second time this season. The second time this season you lost to a quarterback to throw for under 100 yards. Earlier this year, you lost to Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears, where Justin Fields had 85, 86 yards passing, and then you lose to Malik Willis in his first start, throwing for 55 yards. I know what you're about to say. Derrick Henry rushed for over 20 yards. They rushed for over 300 yards. Yeah, that's cool. I understand that, and that's bad. Yeah, absolutely. That's bad. This run defense is atrocious. You absolutely have to fix this run defense. But you had 2 turnovers. They got you in the red zone. One got you in the red zone. One was in the plus territory. You walked away with 3 points. You lost yards in both instances. You get 2 turnovers. In both sequences, you lose yards and only walk away with 3 points. I'm not even going to say it good. A competent quarterback at least gains yards. A competent quarterback at least gains yards. In one of those sequences, you gain yards. A good quarterback walks away with 10. An elite quarterback, a Patrick Mahomes, a top tier quarterback, walks away with 14 points. That will be the difference of the game. Like seriously, that will be the difference of the game. The difference of the game is if you would have walked away with 10 points in that sequence. Now, instead of, even though Derrick Henry rushed for 200 some yards, you would have been 10 to 17 on their last drive, and you would have had a chance to tie or win. That would have been the situation. You would have had the situation if you had a competent quarterback, a competent offense, like I said. But I do agree. I do think that they have no real interest in winning. I'm not mad because I want the number 1 overall pick. Right now we're sitting at number 2 and number 9. Yeah, number 2 and number 9 because Cleveland won. So we're sitting at 2 and 9 when it comes to the draft order. And yes, people up here talk about, man, y'all want to talk about quarterback, but the run defense is bad. I'm not saying I fix the run defense. You're going to have more likely, you're going to have 2 top 10 picks, if not 2 top 5 picks. You get a quarterback with 1 pick, you get Jalen Carter, Brian Brees, Miles Murphy, Willie Anderson with the second pick. They're more likely going to be a top 10 pick, if not a top 5 pick. You might actually have a better chance. I know how Cleveland looked against Cincinnati. They for some reason they own Cincinnati just like the Texans own Jacksonville. Don't let that fool you. Don't let that fool you. I believe that pick more has a better chance of being a top 5 pick than being a outside the top 10. Now it could be outside the top 10 because Deshaun will come back. I understand all that, but I think that pick will more likely be a top 5 pick than outside the top 10. So at the very least, you should have 2 top 10 picks and you have a top 5 pick with your pick. Because now it's you, Detroit, and Carolina out here battling to be who's going to have the worst record in the NFL, and out here picking number 1 overall. And there's some rumblings that the Lions might not even take a quarterback. And if they don't take a quarterback, if they do take a quarterback, it's rumblings that they might take Will Levis for some strange reason. But so you still could walk away with CJ and Bryce or whatever the case may be, and then you still even have Hendon Hooker who's rising up that you could probably get in the back half of the first round, if not the second round. So you're able to fix the quarterback position and also able to get some help on defense. People act like we don't have 2 first-round picks. People act like if we draft a quarterback, that'll be the end of the draft. We are not allowed to draft nothing else the rest of the draft. We could draft a quarterback with the first pick, and then you can fix the run defense with your 2 first round, with the other first round pick you have. You have a second round pick. You have 2 thirds. You have 4. Like you more likely will have 6 picks in the top 100, and if not the top 100, 6 picks at the very least in the top 110. But because that 4th pick jumps, and that depends on how the records go. It jumps up and down a lot. So you either inside the top, you have 6 picks inside the top 100, or 6 picks inside the top, like I said, top 110. And the whole, we don't know a couple hours before the trade deadline. Obviously, Brandon Cooks wants to leave. He looked completely disinterested, like he didn't want to be in the game. I mean, it was one play that he has a clear first down if he just turns around and looks at the ball. And Davis Mills actually threw the ball correctly, and he didn't even bother to look at it. He don't want to be here. The more things that get whatever you can get for him. I want a 2nd round pick, but if you can't get a 2nd, I'm cool with a 3rd. At this point, I'm cool with a 4th. I'm really just done with Brandon Cooks, to be honest with you, because more so, to me, it's on some weird type stuff. Like, he's that upset that Jack Easterby's gone. Like, because it seems like everything changed and shifted when Jack Easterby was relieved, and that's more so to me on some weird type stuff. Like to be honest with y'all, like that's more so to me weird than he just don't want to be here no more because we losing. It's more so just weird because when everything was when there was a thick of the weirdness with Jack Easterby and Bill O'Brien and David Culley and all the weirdness that was going around is, I ain't accepting no more trades and I want to be here and now that's going to be handled internally. And he's liking tweets and stuff about that, and he's vocal about them letting go Jack Easterby. Yeah, it's kind of on some weird stuff. To me, it's on some weird stuff, and just, hey, I want to trade you last year, to be honest, because I wanted, when that season opener, when you look good against Jacksonville at the game, I was like, hey, man, get that trade value up. I want us to move on from Brandon Cooks last year. I want us to move on from Brandon Cooks during the draft process, this past draft. I've been wanting to move on from Brandon Cooks. I wish we would have did it earlier because I think then you definitely could have got a 2nd round pick. Now you're probably looking at 3rd or 4th. And we'll see what happens when the trade deadline hits later on today. If he gets traded, hopefully he does. But we'll revisit that when it comes back. But yeah, this offense is the worst offense I've ever seen. And I've seen bad offenses. This offense was bad. Like I said, and like I said, for people out here talking about, well, you can't just blame the quarterback, can't just blame the offense, rush for over 200 yards. I get that. But at the end of the day, you've lost 2 games now. 2 games you've lost to a quarterback that's thrown for under 100 yards. A competent quarterback don't lose to those games. But like I say, I think it was more so done on purpose. But like when I talk about the red zone situations, you out here letting Rex Burkhead do halfback passes. Dameon Pierce is not touching the ball inside the 10-yard line. Once you get a big interception, they could have swung the difference of a game. If you were trying to win, if you were trying to win this, you can't convince me that the Texans were really trying to win the game when you don't put Dameon Pierce out there like that. Like Dameon Pierce is the best player on this team right now. Dameon Pierce, I was hyped that Derek Stingley was drafted, and Derek Stingley is having a phenomenal year. Darren Stingley's having a phenomenal year, quiet phenomenal year. I'm gonna talk about that in a later video. But Dameon Pierce is the best player on this team, and I feel bad for Dameon Pierce Sunday. I feel bad. I'm happy that he got that one little touchdown. He got that one little touchdown. One also got Dameon Pierce on my fantasy, so that actually helped out my fantasy team. But I'm happy he got some type of stat pattern, because somebody need to pass stats. It should have been Dameon Pierce, not Davis Mills. Davis Mills. I don't know how many yards he had going into the like I said. We had 66 total yards of offense with 4 minutes left to go in the game, and a 2-possession game. 2 possessions in 4 minutes it's a lot, but it's not a lot. You should competent. You're able to come from that, but like I said, you got to fix this offense. You have to people out there. If y'all want to be fans of Davis Mills, that's cool, but there's nothing that he's showing you that's saying that you can get up from this. And also, like I said, Pep definitely got to go. Pep's not it. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't. Comment below if you haven't. Click that bell, get more videos. I'll holla.